So I thought I'd do a quick video on this. I got the stuff for the headlights in today, and I just got done testing them. I wasn't sure what to expect because there's so many different configurations and harnesses they show. Until you get it, you just don't know what setup it's going to have. So I thought I was going to have to connect to the battery and have a ground. But I was pleasantly surprised. Don't have to mess with that. So you just come off. This is what's considered a H4 type configuration. I can plug directly in there. This other little pigtail goes to the projector, and that's what tells the, it's like a little shutter that comes part way down. And when you're on low beams, that's when that shutter comes part way down, and it has a real sharp line across the road. And then when you can use your brights, you flip your brights on and voltage is taken away from this. They did not, the size of this connector and what is in the house, I did have it all out here, but it's not the right size at all. So I think what I'll end up doing, instead of messing with an adapter, because if I go with an adapter, then I'm going to have 2 places here and 2 places on there that over time are going to corrode. So I'll probably just end up cutting this off. All it does is, I mean, I'd still need to attach it on the projectors. It energizes the coil that drops the shade thing that does the cutoff projection. This is the ballast. This is what attaches onto the back of the new bulb, and then we'll go have a look at that. So the brand is Morimoto, and they're not cheap, but this is not something that I want to do more than once, because taking all the gum and everything out of here, it used to be gray, and now I've got a new pack and it's black. So, because I'm thinking you can see through the glass. Now what you're seeing back there is I used acetone and a Q-tip and wiped off the paint that's in the bottom of the groove. And so when I put that gasket material around there, put it back in the oven and put the glass cover back on it, when it comes out, I'll press it down, and then there's clips over there. There's 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom. So this is one that's mounted. It's not finished. This is the other 2 wires. Again, I'll probably end up clipping these. Then I'll create a very small hole back here that they will go through. And then when everything's finished, I'll connect those and solder them. And I don't like crimping stuff. I like to solder and heat shrink. I think that's the best way to do it. The shrouds did not fit as expected, but that's not a problem. I mean, you see it, it's on there. That's the way it'll be when it's finished. And what I did is they snap on. Everything I've been seeing on YouTube says you'll have to use epoxy, and basically you put that on there'd be a ring in here, and this one doesn't have it. It's got these little snaps, which is awesome. That's exactly what I wanted. So here's the projector itself, and those 2 wires, all that does is raise and lower this little metal arm. So when it's not getting power, it stays in that position. It's like a fail-safe. You're not blinding people. When it does get power, that little arm moves. And at first I'm like, oh, that's weird. It's on the bottom. I think it's on the top. But when it goes through this lens, it inverts the light. So that's how that works. I'll probably put a little extra silicone around this. This side goes in through the hole, and then on the back side, I had to do some more dremeling. There's a piece like this. It's H4 adapter, and it has a little tab on the inside and one on the, I called them today. I asked them, what is that stamp on that top part for? And they couldn't tell me. I would like to know. And it doesn't show that it goes either way. I would think it's supposed to just be flat. So that will slide on. This one already has it. It's just basically to make sure you can't put her on wrong. Those 3 tabs are not equally spaced, so if you try to put it in any other position, it just simply won't go in. So I had to remove some material so that blue aluminum ring could thread on. Now once that's tightened, the hardware portion is done. And then, like I said, I'll draw a little hole and the 2 wires will come out. And I should be able to go ahead and put everything back on the truck, test the left and right, and level too. You want to make sure your cutoff line is level and not on any kind of weird angle. And then just test my adjustment screws for left, right, and up and down, and make sure I'm within that zone. Then I get to take it apart and I'll go ahead and put the silicone on it then. I'm afraid if I do it ahead of time, we're gonna have a great big mess, because if something's just way off. So I'd rather be sure. So I'll go ahead, I'll put the silicone on there after I've checked it. I'll just back out the truck, lower the garage door, and measure the height of the cutoff. And I'll have to look online or something to see what they say you're supposed to test it with the old vehicle. And that's great and all, but the old one was horrible. And I had those things out before I even thought to do that. So anyway, I'll get them adjusted temporarily, pull it apart, put the silicone in there, then tighten it down for the last time, make sure it's level, make sure everything is the way it should be. And then at that point, they sell a little tool that tightens this thing down, but I just got these, forgot what they're even called. They're for like snap rings and stuff like that. It'll open or close them, but I figured out that I could adjust a certain way and it works perfect, and I didn't have to pay another 10 or 20 bucks for this tool that they're selling. Anyway, when it's all tightened up, and I get everything aligned and set the way it should be, then I don't have to take any of this apart again. I'll just take the I do have to take the assemblies back out, make sure everything is as clean as you can get it on the inside, because there's no getting back in there, not easily. And then that's when I'll put a strip of the gasket material around the edge, put it back in the oven with everything in it, and after about 7 or 8 minutes, I think it's 270, I take it out and put the glass piece in. In fact, I think you put it in with it and let it rest right on top of your gasket, and then with gloves just press down. I've got 2 little clamps that I use on each side. Hopefully that'll be enough to press it down as far as it needs to go. So I need to be able to get these clips back on the way they were. And then I can put it back in the truck and shouldn't have to do really anything. Just screw it back in and call that done. But we did test them. They are amazing. They are super bright. The quality looks very good on these things. Like I said, they're not cheap. So I'm thinking, well, they should be. I like how everything, earlier you could see how it just plugs directly into the old socket. Where on their site they had stuff where you had to go to the battery and find your own ground and all this, and I thought that was a bit crazy. So it's pretty cool to see that I can just hook it up directly. And like I said, I'll just connect these directly to the other piece there. It shouldn't have to come apart. If it does, the whole unit is bad, and I would just, get a replacement. So it's not a big inconvenience. I'd just cut the wire and then reattach it when a new one would come in place. Anyway, that's how the things are going with the headlights. I did a lot of cutting and sanding and all this, so I'll have to wipe everything down and get all that cleaned up. Because, like I said, when it goes together for the last time and it's put in the oven, that's it. If you have dirt, dust, or whatever in there, then you're going to wish you got it out before.